Good evening, folks. Appalachia Cryptid Encounters. So I'm going to go to mark up here on this footage and show you what we're looking at here. First off, we got an adult right here. Here's his eyes, his nose. Okay, and then we got a little juvenile right here. You'll see him. He's propping up against a tree. There's his foot, right, and here's his little hand right here, and he's holding on to this thing here across the tree. The reason why I show you that, we'll get another look here. Zoom in there for a little bit so you can see. Um, Basically, these guys are of they got the tree organ species of Sasquatch that they live off the tree systems, the root systems and stuff. And what they're doing is priming this tree. And so basically, there is a Sasquatch over here, right? Which you can't see him yet, but you'll see him here in a minute. And this is their tongue that they use to prime into the tree branch system in the tree system. And this little guy here is waiting to get him a drink of water, or what the fluids or whatever comes out of the tree. It's something that they hook up to their mouth to prime the tree, to their tongues and whatnot. So, and I'll show you evidence of that here in just a minute. So we look right here. Let me go to edit real quick. Turn some of the sharpness up. And I got some good footage here tonight. Bear with me. So here we got the same adult here. You can see him watching me. He's got his eyes right, pupils there watching me. And then this little juvenile is leaning out. He's got his arms down here, getting a drink of fluid out of this tree. It's squirting up toward his mouth. Right. They prime right into that tree. And then there's the Sasquatch. Look at his eye right there watching me. This little part right here is that shade lens that comes across their eye. You can see it's halfway pulled across his eye, and his pupil is right there watching me. They do that to cut down on glare. They can see infrared with that, like IR beams and trail cameras and stuff. That's how they're getting around it. It's because of those nocturnal lens that comes across their eye. All right. So they're getting a drink. So let me show you uh, this Sasquatch real quick. That's got that thing hooked to his tongue or whatever they're using to prime that tree. Bear with me here. So here's the first Sasquatch that I had my encounter with, right there. He's the very first one I seen. Which we'll come back to that in just a second. Let's see if I can find that guy. Okay, here, look, this is him leaning further back right here, which you starting to see more of the. Okay, here we go. You can't really see him here because he's back in the shadows, but I'm going to go ahead and enlighten this to show you what I was talking about. Okay, um, you can see it sticking out of his mouth right there. I I've seen two different ones. I don't know. They got a way they roll their tongues up, like how we can roll our tongue up and whistle and whatnot. They can do that with their tongue, and that's what they're using to prime these trees to get the suction up out of them, to get the fluid to come up out of them. Let me get a mark up here. which I got videos of that showing them do it. But so here's the large adult back here. All right. Here's that little youngster right here, right? Okay, he's got his eyes are right there, his other eyes over here, but then you got his big nose. There's his mouth. Here's his jagged teeth. Then right here is that tongue apparatus that they have that they use to prime into the tree right here to get their fluids up out of the tree. This is why Sasquatch are not decimating our tree or our turkey population and our deer population and whatnot. It's because they're surviving off the trees, man. This is how they're doing it. There's enough sustainable nutrients in a tree to sustain them. And this is how they're priming into it. Now you can see right here, here's another, like a medium-sized giant up above him right there. Then you got the large adult that's priming into the tree. And then here's the Sasquatch I had my first encounter with. Okay, so now that we see this laid out here, I'm gonna go ahead and go over to, let's see here, that little guy there. They're waiting to drink off his tree is what they're doing. They're waiting for this guy to prime the tree. Uh, Let me see here. What this is them getting set up, and that's the thing that he was holding in his mouth, priming into that tree, the side of that tree right there. That's how they eat. Okay. Speaking of that first Sasquatch that I had my first encounter, that's a pretty good image right there. I was uh, panning around my yard, heard a bunch of commotion outside, and I was able to catch him for a glimpse for just a split second. Um, but look at that. I got more footage of him we'll go through after a bit. I want to keep going and show you some of the other stuff I got for tonight. That one here, that footage has been cleaned up a little bit. Uh, can see the outline of his face and see how large their eyes are. That's a huge eyeball, man. And then they got their nocturnal shade lens that comes across their eye. But that's a large pupil. And then we got a Sasquatch way down here laying down on the ground, watching me down there. Um, and just all back here behind this, the trees breaking up their silhouettes and stuff, and just staying well hidden. And there's a couple of Sasquatches on the right of that tree too that we'll get to. So he's moving his head a little bit, which I'm getting a little bit more of the greenish look coming in the skin there. Um, there you can see that tongue priming thing that they have right there. You can see it right there coming out of his mouth. Okay, there's one there. Look at his little white teeth showing up right there. This image here I overexposed. It was a snapshot of the video. I had to overexpose it to get the detail out of it to catch that Sasquatch walking down over the embankment. You can see him smiling there a little bit. Um, he's got a juvenile on top of his head. Folks, this is not pareidolia. This is real deal. Sasquatches are real, man. That's all there is to it. Um, Here's overexposure. Try to show some of the definition on this guy. Here's one at the base of that tree on the right side of the tree. He's primed into the tree there. Look at that. Into the corner of the tree drinking there. Um, Let me show you here. See, they got that straw thingy. It's their tongue is what it is. That they roll it up and they ball it up like a straw, and that's what they use to puncture into the veins of those trees and drinking out of those trees. But you can see his conical head here. Look at that. See, here's his conical head. You can see the brown in his hair. Look at all that. Right? And here's his eardrum, his ear. There's his jawline. He's got his lips up. Got this tongue thing. Here's his nose. He's got a shade lens across his eyes there. There's his high eyebrow ridge. Sitting there drinking off the base of that tree, drinking the sap out of that tree. Absolutely amazing. All right, moving on. So that video there, that image there was a still shot. I was moving a little bit too much and distorted the image there a little bit, but there's another Sasquatch there on the right side of the tree there. Bear with me here. Okay, these were the Sasquatches that was looking through my window the other night, the window in my kitchen. There was a small kitchen window. And then it has a screen in the window, right? So, but anyways, I have uh I have a cactus plant in my window, right? And this Sasquatch on the back side of this cactus plant is looking in between my cactus plant. And you're catching just the corner of his eye right there, hiding behind that cactus plant, like that. And he's hiding behind that, and just showing his one eyeball there. Um, okay, here we're starting to see the silhouette of him in the window. There's the taller one right there. Okay, so I'm gonna show you some more images here that I was able to clean up and show a little bit more detail. Um, Let me see here. Bear with me here. So that screen is gray, so it's going to be a little pixelated, but you can still see the Sasquatch in it. Especially when they press up against the the window here. We're getting ready to see here in just a minute. Okay, when you're looking at this, see his eyes are right here. There's his nose. He's got his face pressed up against the window, and this is he's looking to his left, but he's got his eyes looking 90 degrees to the right, right here on the other side of this white trim. You can see him positioning see his eyes right there, see his nose. He's looking right out through the side of that window pane there, um, looking into the house, watching my house. I believe there's a taller one up here too, but I'm not real sure on that guy. But we're going to see this guy. It's going to come in pretty good here in a minute. Um, Here, look at this. Yeah. Uh, so I believe this one here is a little. He's got a littler one right here, I think. But look how big the silhouette of his body is, man. He's huge. No, that's not a little one. That's his face. I'm sorry. Yeah, here's his body. Here's his face. There's one here. This one might be a little one, I think it is. Then we got this one here behind the cactus. We got one here, and there's another one further over to the right that we're going to see here in a minute. But yeah, look at that. Look at his eyes there. You can see his eyebrow ridge and his nose. So there's the original. I just lightened it up a little bit um, to try to get some more detail out on the image. Let me see here real quick. Okay, so we can see his you can see his eyebrow ridge right there. Here's his eyes. And there's his nose, and then this is his mouth, and that's his teeth right there that we're seeing. And this is his beard. And you see how big his conical head is there. He's huge, hairy feller. I need to go out and look at that window screen and see if there's any hair stuck in it. I forgot to do that. But he is pressed up against my window hard. Um, it looks like there might be another one here. He's it looks like maybe his teeth is right there. I'm not real sure. And then maybe there's a set of teeth right there with some eyes. They're not as pushed up against the window as the big guy there in the corner. But then we got one right here that's leaning down in the back. So so now that I know they're looking in through my house, they're getting brave and looking up through my house. I'm going to have to set some more cameras out and try to catch these guys. Unbelievable, man. So then I want to show you this little one down here in the corner. That ain't no baby. That's a young adult, looks like, but he's just small as. He's looking to his right a little bit, but then his eyes are looking left toward this camera. And I'm sitting back in the bathroom with the light off, recording these guys. And I think he's looking back into the bathroom. I was trying to mask my silhouette, so like a sniper position type thing. You set a few feet back into the dark room and when nobody can see you or in your hide or whatever. But I can see him focusing in on me right there. He was watching to see what I was doing in that room. And you can see his eye right there. focused in on me. Unbelievable, man. This one here is moved down a little bit. His, I can't really make out his features too much. He's not up against the window far enough. All right, let's go over one more. Let's see if I can find that smaller one. Right here. See this guy's face coming in there watching me there a little bit. This one's not been enhanced at all. But I was able to enhance and get that guy's features to come out pretty good. The guy standing right there watching me. And then we got this little juvenile right here. No, that's another adult right there. My bad. Yeah, that's another adult leaning way down. He looks pissed on his face, which you'll see it here in a minute. See his face there? I enhanced it, but you can see he's watching me. See his eyes and his mouth. He's frowned at me. He's frowning at me. Looks pissed. And then you see the big grape on his head. Look at that. Look how big his conical head shape is there. Huge. It's a big Sasquatch. And then look at this little baby in the corner, this little juvenile side profile view. Check that out. Just amazing. Anyways, folks, like, subscribe, and ring the bell. If you're on YouTube, if you're on TikTok, hit like, follow. Appreciate you. Have a good night. Let me look at my videos. Let me look at my photos, see what else I got real quick. Just a moment. Oh, here's a Sasquatch that was climbing up on top of larger Sasquatch's head, one of the mid-sized giants. He's being picked up, scooped off the ground. This is a full-size adult Sasquatch being picked up by the giant. He's crawling up on top of his head. I don't know if he's sick or what, but he's catching a ride. Look at that. There's one down by the tree. One back in the tree. One down in the debris. Look at that. Couple of them down in that debris. Just amazing. Oh, and then on this one we got take your phone and turn it to your left 20 degrees, and then you'll see his face straight up and down. Look at that. Let me go to markup while your phone is at 20 degrees to the left. Here's his conical head. All right. Here's his eyebrow ridge. His eyes are right there. Here's his flared nose. And he's got a little juvenile on his shoulder. You see his nose and shocked nocturnal lens, right? But what you don't see here is this hand that comes out right here. You see these fingers, these white finger claws. Right, there's a thumb and claws and everything. If I zoom out, you'll see right here that there is another Sasquatch right here, turning back, looking at me. He's within arm's length of me. He's got a shade lens on his eyes and his nose. Here's his mouth. Here's his head. So I'll cancel all that so you can see it. I'm very close to these guys in the bush. And what it is I don't know what he's reaching up there to do something to keep him from breathing. I don't know what he's trying to do. Or maybe he's stretching out his arm to take the juvenile. I'm not real sure. But he's got his hand stretched up there and you see his claws. And you got one Sasquatch in the bush leaning way down with the baby on his shoulder. And then you got the other one that's closer to me. They're probably waiting to probably jump on me if I step in on them, get any closer to them or something. Um, they're probably trying to figure out what to do because I was right on top of them, pretty much whenever I got this footage. Look at this guy, man. Looks pissed. And then there's that little baby. And then I guess this female must have something in her hand there. It looks like maybe she's feeding them something. I don't know. But it looks like she's got something in her hand right there, giving them. See that? Um, right here. It's sitting in the palm of her hand. All right, folks. That's all I got. Good night. Peace.